Thank you for the two presentations. In this session, we had three presentations. Now the floor is open for questions. First, we'll have questions from the in-house participants.
So we have a short QA session. First, shall we go for online participants?
Yes, it would be great, yes.
Yeah, okay. So first we are going to go for online participants and then we will come to the local participants. Okay, Chiara, please coordinate the online participants.
Yeah, we got one first question by Jorge.
Yeah, just thank you for the great presentation on the matchup database. I just have one quick question. Is there any discussion within the tools and services for the matchup database with respect to, for example, gradients and using matchup databases specifically for looking at SST gradients and validation?
If the question was not clear, probably Chiara, can you just repeat, because we were not able to listen it very clearly.
Jorge, I think you need to be speaking a bit louder.
Oh,
try.
Okay, I'm sorry. Can you hear me now?
What about Nitant? Can you hear us now?
Yes, we are able.
Okay, please go ahead, Jorge.
Yeah, just quickly, is within the integration of the matchup database, is there any methodologies being considered for doing matchups for SST gradients and validation of SST gradients?
So the question for the matchup database for the SST gradients, is there anything being done on?
Maybe. Can I comment to this?
Yes, Igor, go ahead.
Yeah, thanks. So hi, Jorge, and thanks, Jeff, for presenting this. Remember last year we discussed this to include this introduce these metrics inside the matchup database task activities. Unfortunately, as Jeff mentioned, there was a delay on all these activities. So I really hope that for the next year we will have more frequent meeting, and then we will also introduce these metrics inside. And you are well welcome also to join. We will have more, let's say, at least every quarterly meeting. But after this meeting, I plan to set up one meeting to kick off new activities. So then we'll be place to discuss it more in detail.
Okay, thank you so much, and I'll be happy to help. Thank you.
Thank you.
There is also a capability in the Felix tool I've mentioned to also process the data when you extract matchups. So there is a way also to compute gradients or whatever over the box that are extracted around the in situ measurement and so on. So there are also some enrichment possible to the matchup database to add new fields on the output.
Are there other questions here from people in the room, in the virtual room?
Yes, we have questions from the room. So we are now switching to the questions on the room.
We need to speak up a little bit from the room because you're very it's soft-spoken. I do not get what you say. If you could increase the volume a little bit.
Thanks, Jeff, for the presentation. Chiara, can you hear me okay?
Yes, it's getting much better. Thank you.
Okay, thanks for the presentations. I'd just like to go back to the points on the GRIS catalogue. Yeah, and just to repeat what Jeff has said, that we're still missing quite a lot of catalogue entries from GRIS data producers and DAX. Take a look at the catalogue. It's online. You can go to the GRIS webpage, data producers, click on the catalogue, and you can see the records that are already there and what's missing. And we'd really like to get a complete set as soon as possible so that we can, you know, if a GRIS user's coming to the webpage, they've really got a complete set and there's nothing missing there. So if there are any issues or blocking questions, please take the opportunity to talk to Jeff whilst he's here, and that for those online, send Jeff an email or Chiara an email, and hopefully we can try to get this completed as quickly as possible.
As I said, there are many that are in fact already in the catalog but not yet public. So they just need to be reviewed and approved by the producers. So it doesn't take too much time, or at least much less time than when you enter a new dataset description from scratch. So please check that, yes.
Hello. I found those really interesting presentations. Thank you to Werenfrid and to Jean-François. You guys, especially Jean-François, are the unsung heroes of GRIST. Jean-François does all the really important stuff. So, yeah, a big thank you. My first question is to Werenfrid, though. I know that in SHIPS for SST, we've only included the high quality climate traceable infrared radiometers on ships. Is there any possibility that you could also include sail drone infrared SSTs? Because there have been papers recently showing that they're actually surprisingly skillful, accurate. I mean, they're not traceable to CI standards, but what do you think, Werenfrid?
Yes, we had that discussion with Peter Minette, and I said yes in a separate directory, but it seemed to have not progressed much from that discussion I had with him. So I don't know what's going on there. I might have to follow it up, but we said it's okay as long as it's clearly labeled. Maybe the format because it has to be in L2R, otherwise it's no point. So maybe that is taking time. I don't know.
Yeah, of course, it's got to be in L2R. But does Peter Minette, I don't know if he's on the line, but is that a possibility? Can his team in Miami convert the sail drone skin SSTs to L2R format, or don't they have all the variables required?
Well, you don't need many variables. It's the core set, like in a CRISP product. There's a core set and an optional set, and the core set is quite small, so it doesn't need much. I'll put it on the to-do list and follow it up with him, see what's going on there.
Okay. And my other question is actually to ISRO, to Rishi and his colleagues. Listening to the MDB presentation by Jean-François, it occurred to me that ISRO would really benefit by joining that task team, because it's sort of a quasi SST validation task team. It's basically doing the work that the GRIST validation technical advisory group used to do before the task teams were set up. So, you know, it's looking at what in situ data sets should be used, how to use the in situ data better, and what are the metrics that one should be assessing when you validate satellite SST. So I actually think that any agency that is producing satellite SST product and wants to validate them correctly and consistently with other agencies, so we can compare the metrics between producers of SST products, should at least be joining in some of the meetings and be aware of these documents. I didn't even know that GRIST had a validation protocol document. I don't remember seeing it, so that's news to me. I'd like a copy.
But maybe we will put it somewhere more ready.
Any other question?
Yeah, also here. Should we take Igor?
Helen, we will be very happy to contribute in this MDD task team, because right now we don't have any means of collecting the in situ data from the infrared radiometer. So we will be very happy to be a part of this task team, because in any way we are going to have Trishna mission, and it's a very high resolution SST is going to be retrieved. So we will have to require this high resolution SST for the validation of the retrieval product and also the development of the algorithms. So it is a very unique opportunity for us.
Just a small note before you ask a question or answer, just introduce yourself because that will help our online users to see who is speaking. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Suresh Vanan. I'm from PODAC. Actually, I have a request with regards to the GRIST catalog. One of the things that we're doing at PODAC is to actually understand the impact of these data sets within the community. So we're collecting data citation metrics, how people are citing these data sets within published literature as a way to quantify the impact of the data sets within different research areas. And we've collected about 500 citations of GRIST data sets, and we work with the JPL library as a way to do that. It goes beyond the traditional metrics of downloads and the number of users. So what I would like to, offer up is this database that PODAC has collected to be integrated within the GRIST catalog. Maybe we could start off with just a simple integration and think about how the standards would be as a way to inform the community as to how people are using those data sets in published literature, and also to inform new people coming into this community about how they could exploit that. So just a suggestion. I know you have your plate full for the next couple of years, but something to think about.
Nitant, we got a question here in the room, in the virtual room from Igor.
Yeah, there is one more question.
Yeah, yes, I'm Dr. Swapna from NRSC ISRO. This question is for Wimmer. He has shown about Shipborne SST data. Are these data available to the users? How we can access that data for validation purpose? Shipborne SST data sets.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, yeah. As Werenfrid mentioned, yes, this is available to user. You just have to register on the website that he mentioned, and yes, you can access the data.
Yeah. Thank you.
Any other questions?
Yes, from the online team, there is one question from Igor.
Yes, hi, Igor here. So just first a comment to Fred for Wimmer related to the matchup database for the SLSTR radiometer. So yes, it was a bit delayed in terms of the processing, but also it was also delayed in terms because of the not clear what the radiometer data we have to use, and I think I raised it also some previous years. Now we are processing 2020-21. It's almost completed, and also filling up the 22. So it should be really ready in the next weeks, and will be presented by Fred in the S3T, I guess, meeting in December. So it's also good there to look for the results. But I want to stress again that for the last 2 years, as also Fred mentioned, there were really not many data, maybe two, 3 radiometers in total. So it's really encouraging people to use to put the data online, that we can also process it in one go. Otherwise, still, it was never idea to process on demand as soon as the data are published or uploaded to the FTP site. Also to mention that we are doing only for SLSTR. So consider also this, and here in Greece, it's not only SLSTR data that are used. So this is also a question maybe for others. Is it foreseen that you collect data for other missions, and maybe also for the task team itself, for MDB, to prepare some kind of framework to be able to apply not only specific satellite data and in situ data, but also to be more generic in terms of applying any data set, which actually Felix is designed to use many different type of satellite data. Again, not only SST, but also altimetry and ocean color, etc. And also not only radiometer data set as in situ mimicking, but also for drifter, moored buoy, or any other type of data stream. So it's idea is really to be able to cover it in more generic way. So, but just the point that, yeah, Fred mentioned in the talk that we are delayed, but it's also, I would say, blame on both sides.
Yeah, Igor, Fred here. Yes, I know. I mentioned it because it was a deliverable in our task team. That's why I mentioned it. It wasn't criticism as such. I know you're busy. We are busy. Yeah. These things happen. And it was always, I think the radiometric data was always seen to be not just SLSTR. Every mission you can match it within Felix. So I agree with you on that.
We generated with Felix actually a matchup database from your radiometer data along the French coastal area. So using unique coastal measurements that are not easily findable. So we could share also this over the whole Sentinel-3 mission.
Yes, please.
And also to mention that for the SLSTR Radiometer MDB, we're also sharing it through our FTP site, so and including also SLSTR MDB with in situ data, drifter Argo floats, and the moored buoys. So this is also available per request, and if anyone else is needed. So this is global. And systematically produced for the in situ, for the drifters, systematically produced with, let's say, 1 week delay.
Chiara?
No, I don't see other hands raised in the virtual room. Last call?
Wait, Chiara. Since we have time, only to say, hi Fred, this is Prasanjit. It's a question to you. What happened to the KIT instrument? Just very curious. And how did it evade Frank's eyes?
I don't know the details, but it just seemed to have a bias shift all of a sudden on the peer comparison. You would have to talk to Frank in detail what happened to it, but we just saw it in the data afterwards. So there was no damage. It was just the same. It just shifted. But it is something. It's an instrument he has used a lot in Africa, so it might just be aging. I don't know.
It will come back. It can be reused after the fix.
Oh,
right?
Yeah. It will come back.
Okay.
But it needs a service too.
All right. Okay. Thanks, Fred.
Anyone has any other question? If there are no questions, we'll close this session here. Mini and I would like to thank the organizers for giving us this opportunity.